What's up, y'all? It's me. It's been a minute, but not really. That's because my consistency sucks. But it's a work in progress. Or correction, I guess it's a work in progress. But anyway, we're here with less of a reaction and more of a discussion type of deal. While I was watching this, I was wondering to myself, I'm like, what can I bring to this topic or this conversation? So it's not so much a reaction as it is like a discussion, because you know what I mean. My previous reactions, we've watched it together, and I've like paused it and talked about whatever I wanted to talk about. Then I'll get back to watching. Thing is, I was pausing a lot, and that kind of gets annoying. So I want to take a different approach this time around. And yeah, so with that being said, this video is entitled "We Asked Black People about Interracial Relationships" by a channel called Cocoa Butter. Now, I'm not familiar with this channel. This is like my first video. This is the first video I've seen from them. I've already watched it for the sake of like the discussion element of this video. And I liked it. I thought it was cool. A lot of these perspectives, they contrast my own. So I'm excited to get into this. So yeah, let's get into it.
You really had to go out of your way to find a non-black to date, so it's just kind of like you weird, like something wrong with you, like. But also, like, love is love, so.
Hello, everybody. It is me, Elise, and today I had a question. Dating as a black person is an experience in and of itself, and something that always comes up is interracial relationships. So I wanted to get my friends' opinions on that topic, so I asked them, and this is what they had to say. What is your opinion on interracial relationships?
I have a lot of opinions.
Whatever floats your boat. Other races, you could dibble and dabble.
I love them. I think they're great.
I think they're fine for other people.
I don't have a problem with interracial relationships. I only see a problem if people use it as a gimmick or try to use their partner as a display.
I think interracial relationships are interesting.
I think it's cool, date who you want to date.
Sidebar. She was really cute, but
I think it's completely fine.
so is she.
I think it depends on your intent and where it comes from.
I don't mind them. I would do one. I have done one, so
Would you ever be in an interracial relationship?
Honestly, yeah, I would.
I don't think that's what the Lord wants for me. Me personally, I like black on black, so no, I would not.
I would be in one if it means I could get the green card, because I am currently not from here.
They aren't for me just because I'm very into black love.
I would say yes.
Yes, but not white women. If you go back far enough, your family probably owned slaves. No.
I'm not opposed to it, but it's not what I'm trying to get to. I think if you want to explore people, that's cool. I just don't see myself settling down with anyone outside of my race.
Maybe with any race other than white people. I'm sorry, I'm not usually attracted to white men unless they're famous or movie stars.
If y'all see me in an interracial relationship, it's a cry for help. I'm in the sunken.
See, one thing I want to touch on. I made a list of notes and kind of things to touch on while going throughout this video, because I don't want it to be me just sitting and watching and then saving my thoughts throughout the end. I don't want to pause too much, but I want to have kind of okay, whatever. But I mean, the first thing I kind of one thing I wanted to bring up real quick while I was watching this, I can't help but ask, where are these people from? What? Because a lot of these views feel really Southern, and I say that because I'm originally from the South, and North and South Carolina specifically, and there you kind of look weird as a black person dating outside your race, especially a white person. I don't even want to say if I had a snow bunny phase, but there have been points in my life where I've been interested in a white girl, and or a snow bunny, however you want to go about it. And it was met with, I don't want to say animosity, but it was met with some kind of pushback. Two black women raised me, so to go to them and be like, I've been interested in a white girl, is kind of jarring. It's the same deal with like my friends. Just as a black person, dating somebody white seems like, because of the obvious history that's there, some can like take that as disrespect or betrayal of your own race. Like in a lot of people's eyes, you're dating like your slave owner or the descendant of the slave owner that enslaved your ancestor. So it's kind of like, I was talking to a friend about it, and the way he puts it is you're kind of running to your oppressor. So that's a very real dynamic, and that's kind of something that always carried in the back of my mind. There have been times where I've kind of like hated is the wrong word. There have been times where I've kind of been annoyed with myself for having interest in a white girl. It's just like, dog, you know what the implications of that are. Why would you even, back to the video though.
Place, get me out of there.
Have you ever been in an interracial relationship?
Yes, in high school.
And how was that for you?
I learned better. Not to say that it was a bad relationship, but like it's not for me. So I learned, and now I've grown. Amen.
Amen.
I'm actually in one right now. My girlfriend is South American. She's from Peru. So.
And you're living your best life.
Yeah.
It's good.
It's been good.
I have been in one before. At the end of the day, I couldn't get over the whiteness. I think like the race structures and the power structures will always be an incredible like imbalance that I'm not going to be able to stomach or get over or heal from.
I would say that I have been in an interracial relationship, and it just stressed me out too much. I don't think I would ever do that again, just on like the basis of my black politic, my pro-black politic. And I just couldn't date somebody who wouldn't go as hard and as deep for like pro-black politics.
I have been in one. My last relationship was actually an interracial relationship. It was not easy at all, to say the least. There was a lot of different cultural differences in the relationship, but I could expect that.
Observations about interracial relationships.
As a black woman, it's just so hard, like, really relating to people in, like, the dating scene already. So now trying to put another, like, layer of dating someone who doesn't even, like, understand my general experience as a black person is, like...
As a black man, I am fearful that folks of other races, specifically, like, white folks, just will not be able to understand the struggles that black people, men or women, or non-binary folks may experience. I really think other black people understand that experience really, really well, and having a partner who understands that experience is very...
Yeah, it's interesting because to kind of go back to my friend that I brought up earlier. He's told me before, like, fam, you have to get with a black girl, as if there's like no other feasible or viable option. And that's kind of the snag I hit when it comes to interracial dating and this topic in general. It's just a lot of black people, for valid reason, they carry the attitude like dating within your race is really the only way to go. And if you go outside of that, you're like especially if you get with a white person, you're like a coon or an Uncle Tom. Somebody that they don't want to associate with, really. It's weird if you're dating outside of your race, but it's borderline criminal if you're dating somebody that's white. So my first relationship was an interracial one. My first girlfriend was Vietnamese. And it's just, going into the relationship, I didn't really harp on the fact that she was Vietnamese and that there was an obvious culture difference. I realized that I was black and she was Vietnamese, so that kind of comes with certain dynamics and certain aspects and things like that anyway. So I just it's kind of a default for me. It's something that I'm kind of aware of at this point. It's if I date somebody outside of my race, I'm gonna have to be aware that at the end of the day, I'm a black man and this is a not black person that I'm dealing with. As opposed to if my girl was black, then there'd really be no need to have that dynamic, because at that point we're just both black people, so we get it. I also haven't dated much at all. Like, I'm 19, had my first girlfriend when I was 17. I'm not seasoned when it comes to dating at all, which is another reason why I wanted to cover this, mainly because I'm curious of other people's perceptions on interracial relationships. Personally, I'm not really for the whole, if you're black, you have to date this, you have to date a black person, and that kind of goes for every race. I'm not a huge fan of the whole absolutism of dating as like a specific race. It's just like, I'm more in line with whoever makes you happy, then that's what it is. If you want it, because what my worst fear is, for me or for anybody else, is to be in an unhappy relationship, but they're in the relationship because that person is their same race, as opposed to this person who makes me probably the happiest I've ever been on a daily. I'm supposed to just give that up because they're not black, or they're not the same race as me. It's just, I don't want opportunity to be missed because of something like this, because of the foundation of race. I mean, it's a big thing. I'm not invalidating it or anything. At the end of the day, do what you want. If you want to date within your race, cool. If you want to date outside your race, cool. But there are like things that come with dating outside of your race, because for me, I was always like, even though I'm black, I was always the weird black kid. Like, I was like, the term Oreo is a term I'm familiar with. No one's ever called me an Oreo directly, but people have indirectly called me an Oreo before. So I've always felt weird. Even as a black person, I've always felt weird within like my community itself. So I was less inclined to date people who thought I was weird, like if that makes sense. Because people always thought I was weird anyway. Why would I go out of my way to be with them, just to be in a relationship where this person already thinks I'm weird anyway? It's just like, I don't want to go into a relationship with that in the back of my head. Plus, I was still / kind of still am into anime, so I guess that contributed to that was a factor in like my overall preferences when it comes to women. But I digress.
Paramount in my opinion.
I believe that if you have something against dating within your own race, then you probably have some internal issues or problems that you need to address.
People need to understand like the challenges and the inequities that sort of surround different interracial relationships.
Getting to know someone's family when you don't have that like same background is kind of tough, and there might be some things you have to deal with, like Trump supporters.
What are your final thoughts about interracial relationships?
I think the really, really big thing for me though is if you have to compromise who you are as a person and your identity.
His vest is sick. That is a really cool vest. Okay, my bad. I'm sorry.
Then it's a problem, but if you want to love whoever you want to love, I think that's an extremely important thing. I don't think you should be judged for it at all. Yeah.
Love who you want to love, as long as it's for the right reasons. Like, I don't judge if you want to live outside your race. Like, that's on you.
I think that more black women should start dating outside of their race. Statistically, due to racism, mass incarceration, there's just not enough black men who match like the caliber of like education level or even income level as black women. So I think that if we're really trying to like live our best life and not take care of somebody, it hurts to say because I love black men and I hope to marry one day, but there's just not enough for all of us.
I think the biggest thing for me in making one work is just understanding that you're never going to understand the other person's experience. So if you're with someone and they understand that they won't know your experience and you're okay with that, then I think they should be able to work.
It's all about matching each other where you are at and having awareness of your identity and being able to grow and develop that awareness together.
As long as you love me because I am me and not because I am a black man, then I'm okay with what we are. Now, I still would prefer, to be with a black woman, but I can't say that I'm just completely closed off to, interracial relationships.
I mean, at the end of the day, I don't think you can really pick who you fall in love with or who you end up liking or find attractive. So I'm gonna say that, you do it, makes you happy, you do it, it's best for you.
So, I mean, Serena Williams is really happy. I'm trying to think of someone else. Anyway, they're living their best life. She got money.
I don't know if I said this earlier, but she mad nice too. Most definitely. That's the video. Again, I really liked it when I watched it the first time. And I liked it even more the second time. So, Coco Butter. But final thoughts. Yeah, I think ultimately it's really a thing of, being human and kind of basing your love off of that as opposed to, I'm black, so all these options are not available to me. Because a great friend of my mom's, who we've known for years, he's been married to a white woman for years. So it's like, I even asked him, I was like, what are your thoughts on like your interracial dynamic? And basically he was like, I didn't focus on that. She made me happy and that's all I ran with. And I'm like, I respect that. Because it's just like, to limit your happiness, to kind of put criteria on your happiness is kind of shooting yourself in the foot. That's all I got for this one. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. All that good stuff. And till next time.